Hello, everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm joined by Cam Newton. Oh, no, that's not Cam Newton. That's A-Rod. He's back. I'm back. What's popping, man?
Let them know how you feel, Cam. Let them know how you feel.
Hey, Cam's my boy, right?
He's my boy too, man. I'm happy to see that's all patched up. He's back. I'm
He's
happy
back.
to see him. Let him know. Put him on blast, man.
What's crazy? We talked about Cam last week. We weren't even thinking about the Panthers at all. That came out of super left field.
They look healthy too, man. They look really, really healthy.
He needed this time off. His body was broken, so yeah.
I hope it continues, man. He looked good. Threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. Looked really good, man. So
big facts.
But yeah, man, all is good. Just cooling. Regular Wednesday. We're at episode 45. I almost thought it was episode 50 today, and KK had to calm me down.
I said, bro, slow your roll a little bit.
Yeah, I got really, really excited. And we're also teasing the idea around getting new mics. So Christmas is coming for us.
Yeah. We're gonna make some slight changes in season 3, just so y'all know.
Crisp and clean is what we're going for. Obviously, next week is going to be Thanksgiving, so we're going to take a break from that. Let you guys enjoy your holiday. Let us enjoy our holidays. Get our shit together. Should be some good topics that'll happen between then. Maybe OBJ will request a trade by then. We'll see. So
nope, deadline is over, man. Stuck. You are stuck.
We never know. Maybe they'll cut him. So, but the rundown for today, we're gonna go over the Week 10 recap of our Pickems. We'll talk about that. Obviously, we're actually tied, so mano y mano right now. We're gonna go over some teams are starting to come back to life. We've been poo-pooing on the Chiefs all year, but they're starting to come back to regular form, more dominant again. The Pats are back. Bucs, are they real, or are they just like pulling our leg on this whole thing?
I've been on the Pats bandwagon this whole time, just so y'all know.
I've been saying it too, man. I've been saying it too. They're going to be good. New faces in old places. We'll say OBJ experiment, is it really good for the Rams? And obviously, Mr. I'm back behind me over here. He's back in Carolina. Then we're going to jump into college football a little bit. We'll talk about the 4 teams that they have in the playoffs. Are those the right teams? Is Cincy getting drafted, not being put in there? And then we'll just throw some NBA talk around at the end. We'll talk about Golden State, how they're just pulling up, showing like how they were years back. They're back to being Golden State again. And who'd have thought maybe just the one piece was Andre Iguodala. That's all they needed back.
Crazy.
Wizards, they're the real deal with Beal. And Lakers and Nets, what's going on? And then finally, we'll wrap it up with Week 11 Pickems. And then my co-host decided to have a fun little game he wanted to play and didn't tell me anything about it. But I'll let you introduce the game we're going to play.
Yeah, we in the weird random event that happened last night with the Los Angeles Lakers, LA Sparks, LA Clippers, LA Kings, a bunch of other concerts and everything that goes on at the Staples Center. It is no longer going to be called the Staples Center, guys. It is now the Crypto.com Arena. God knows why, but it is going to happen I think they said in December. So it had me thinking. I'm like, because we do where did he go to college? A-Rod, he's not the Schwab, but he's a little knowledgeable about some things. So I got to, my job is to make sure I keep him on his toes in case we got to do trivia or Jeopardy one night. And I want to make sure that he's prepared. So I brought out a list of stadiums, 3 baseball, 3 basketball, and 3 football. And he's got to tell me what team plays in that arena. Plain and simple. Okay, simple game.
There's two A-Rods trying to be the new host of Jeopardy, and it ain't gonna be Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna be me. So
is Rodriguez trying to?
Rodriguez, I do it. No, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers want to be the coach.
You said there's 2. You were talking and I thought you meant the fake A-Rod, the baseball player A-Rod, the Yankee A-Rod.
Broke boy, the guy with no money.
No, A-Rodgers, hell no. No, but A-Rod's doing well for himself. He got Milwaukee now, the Timberwolves, not Milwaukee, Minnesota. He's part owner of the Timberwolves.
I'm always down to see what Karen Rodgers wants to do. So
damn, that's what it is now.
Oh, I love the dude. I love watching him play, but just the way he's carrying himself lately, he makes me think like he's like a conspiracy theorist.
You know what it is, though.
The Pat McAfee show.
No. First of all, the Pat McAfee show is supposed to be just for jokes and giggles. So basically, if to me, no offense to these two gentlemen, but if you're a cult follower of Joe Rogan and Pat McAfee, calm down just a little bit. Just bring it down a notch. Just bring it down a notch. The thing about Aaron Rodgers, he says all this crazy shit on the sideline and in the media and stuff. But then I watch him play on Sunday and I forget about all of it. I'm like, whatever. He's still a bad man.
He's a bad man.
We can't do nothing. You can't do nothing with him.
Can't, man. Can't. All right, let's go week 10 recap. So right now, as we're sitting at 23 apiece out of 40. KK took one last week, and that was the Tennessee, New Orleans. You picked Tennessee. I had New Orleans. Everything
you picked Trevor Siemian, just so you know. You picked Trevor Siemian. That's not a bet that I'm willing to take.
It wasn't, but it was like a makeup of two good defenses versus like what do we do on offense type of thing.
Correct.
And then Kamara went out and I couldn't go back on that. So I was like, it is what
that I had a little inside information about that. To be very, very honest with you, I was doing some insider trading. I had my people contact my people and they let me know that Kamara wasn't going to be in the game. Hence why I went and picked up their wide receiver, DeAndre, whatever, Harris, because he got really involved in all aspects of the football. He had 82 yards receiving, like 10 yards rush or something like that. He did have a fumble, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah, I had a little bit insider trading, just so you know.
We also murdered in our league, too, so that's good.
Hey, listen, guys, I just want y'all to know, this man tried to drop OBJ. Try to pick up OBJ and drop Rashad Bateman. Do you see what Rashad Bateman was? Go look up his stats. Rashad Bateman is a dog.
He's good.
He's a dog.
I don't know why I wanted to jump on that OBJ train when I hate him so much. So
don't ever pick up people that you don't like because they let you down. If they let you down in fantasy, it's like a double whammy. It's like a slap in the face.
It is. So KK gets a point for the New Orleans versus Tennessee game. We both got a +0 for Carolina and Arizona because Mr. I'm Back wanted to take over that game.
I didn't know.
I didn't either, man. This old dog got some fight in him, and I'm glad he's in Carolina fighting. So Seattle, Green Bay. Seattle gets shut out for a first time. I mean, everybody looked lost there.
Listen, what we were saying about you mentioned it, and I didn't believe you. You mentioned like 3 or 4 weeks ago about Green Bay's defense, because right before the Cardinals game, because I picked the Cardinals, I was like, great defense, child, please. But no, that defense is for real. Now, Merciless is out for the year though, so that's going to change some things obviously for them. But they still don't have Jair Alexander; he's not even back yet. So if their defense is playing like this in the postseason, watch out.
Yeah, they're getting the things they need out of these young guys, and they're playing really good football. So who knows? Maybe Brown gets a call back. You never know. So Kansas City, Las Vegas, we both got a +1 there. And then the Rams, San Francisco. The funny thing is we were both saying San Francisco.
Weren't we?
We were both saying San Francisco.
Weren't we?
We both got a +0 on that. So
you don't know how pissed off I am about that because I'm like something deep down in my soul was like, I don't really trust it right now. I'm not ready. And I'm 49ers. In the preseason, when we were doing all of our like previews for the NFC's West and stuff, I was really high on the 49ers. I thought they would be a playoff team. I still think they have a chance because the bottom half of the NFC, after you get through those first 4 or 5 teams, 6 and 7 is up for grabs for anybody right now, and they're literally right there in the mix. So I think they have the talent. I think the Rams still got some things to figure out, but we were on the right path. We just kidding. That's one of those head and heart things. So
yeah, the funny thing is too is that I watched the game and they just try to get Odell involved a lot, man. At one point you have to say like just use him as a decoy.
How many targets did he get? I don't even think he got that many targets.
The first pick was to Odell.
That was a hard. I don't know. So listen, Stafford, he's a good quarterback, but there's a reason why he's never won a playoff game. And there's a reason why Detroit wasn't successful. Like he still has, you can't be a gunslinger and not be a great gunslinger. Like Brett Favre was a gunslinger, but shit, he made up for every one of those interceptions. He's like all-time leader in interceptions, but who nobody cares because he made up for it. Stafford is not he doesn't have that kind of resume yet to go be that kind of a gunslinger. So he definitely got some ways to go for that team to be where they think they're going to be at the end of the year. Because I mean, all the chips are in; they're all in. So
yeah, the chips are in. The only unfortunate thing now, I think, is why they signed Odell Beckham is Robert Woods is out with an ACL.
they didn't know Robert Woods was going to be hurt, though.
Yeah, oh, that's right. It happened at practice.
It happened literally moments after they signed him.
Yeah, that's just
That's just bad luck.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But I mean, we'll see what happens there. But let's go to like some of those games. You know, the Chiefs decided to put the spanking on the Raiders, and just like we say every year, the Raiders, you know, classic Jadakiss line is good, but it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
There's just something there. Like Derek Carr is just gonna Derek Carr basically. So the Chiefs came back to life. They looked really in sync, playing good football. Deshaun Jackson made an amazing catch. They rip it out of his arms. You know, it just played really good football.
That made me sad for Deshaun. I feel like that's going to be his I'm ready to retire moment. Like he didn't even know, like he caught it. Normal Deshaun, that's to the crib. Mm-hmm. This 34-year-old Deshaun, I think that's my moment. I need to retire. Like that made me sad.
You got to hang it up, man. And then even at that, the Patriots, like they full head of steam just rolled through. Was it the Browns that rolled through?
The Browns. Listen, America. I picked the Browns to make it to the Super Bowl. I am all the way out. But moments after that, like by week 2, week 3, I said, I think the Patriots are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I went back and looked at one of my old tweets in like March. And I had predicted in March, guys, you can go fact check me. I'll provide the information. I predicted Buccaneers versus Patriots in the Super Bowl. Now the Bucs, we'll see, but I am all in on the New England Patriots.
I'm sticking by mine, man. Like, I mean, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But then we got to see the Bucs Washington football team rematch, and football team gave it to him, man. Heineke gave it to him. And I mean, out of this, we got two teams that one is basically just like in limbo, but they're trending upwards in the Patriots. They've been like up and down all year. They lose some games and they win some.
No, it's up, and it's stuck right now with the Patriots.
They're trending high right now, and the Chiefs, they're like on a 2 or 3 game win streak right now. They're showing why, you know, they're the AFC back-to-back champions, one-time Super Bowl out of those. Mm-hmm. Mahomes looked really, really good, and then the Bucs, they're on a 2-game slide right now. So it's, of these 3 teams, which one's the real one and which one's the fake one, I guess, is the real question out of it. The Bucs just pulling our leg, had the Patriots just coasting because they're that good, and like, does Kansas City have to crawl out, or are they just like comfortably going up the ladder in their division because there's no competition there?
Well, the Chiefs. No, I'm not gonna talk about the Chiefs. I'm gonna talk about the Patriots, okay? Because listen, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Okay. Once Tom, and it's not like I have a personal, I'm not you. I don't have a problem with Tom Brady. I really don't. I really, really don't. But once Tom left the Patriots, for whatever reason, I've become a closet supporter of the New England Patriots. More so because I'm into coaching. Like I'm obsessed with coaches. And like the way I feel about Nick Saban in Alabama is the same way I'm feeling about Bill Belichick in New England, minus Tom Brady, because I wanted to see him do it with somebody else. That's like, all right, I got to see this with somebody else. So like with Saban went from defensive ass football, run the football with horrible quarterback play, win championships. Now he adjusted to that new wave of spread the offense out, get you some dynamite receivers, great running game, but now we have efficient quarterbacks. Like the quarterback play for Alabama over the last 6 years has been pretty damn good. That wasn't their MO before, right?
AJ McCarron always fooled us every year.
Exactly. Exactly. Now let's put that in New England. They had 20 years, 20 of You Jet fans, you Bills fans, and you Dolphins fans know very well 20 years of torture of the hands of Tom Brady. Some people said it was Tom Brady. Some people said it was Bill Belichick. Me, I was like, I think it's both, but more so Bill Belichick. Because at the end of the day, Tom Brady was a sixth round pick for a reason. It's not like he came to the league with all these skills or anything like that. Belichick groomed that. So now that he's gone, I wanted to see him do it again.
He also went to a win-ready team right away. Like
Exactly. I mean, Bledsoe was there. He was. They were.
I'm talking about when he went to the Bucs and won.
Oh yeah, well, we're not talking about the Bucs. But even when he got to New England, their defense was stout. Same situation that Mac Jones finds himself in right now. The defense is stout. They got some playmakers on the that can. I mean, Kendrick Bourne has had a good season. Jacoby Myers got his first touchdown in his career. They have an amazing running back room because if somebody gets hurt, Ramondre Stevenson, JJ, there was a Taylor or something like that. Damian Harris, like they have a litany. Bolden, they have a litany. Is that the right word? Litany. They have a connaissance, a multitude, an embarrassment of riches of running backs to use. They have good tight end play. Offensive line is great. Defensive line is great. And this is all Bill Belichick. You remember in the spring when he paid all these players. Bill ain't never paid nobody before. Like this is unorthodox. But he knew who to pay, how much to pay him, and when to pay him. And now he has his squad. And I think that this is giving me shades of Tom Brady's first Super Bowl when they beat the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams at the time, 17-14 in a Super Bowl game. That greatest show on turf was averaging 35 points a game, and they couldn't muster up more than 2 touchdowns against this defense. And then the rookie quarterback drove them to get the field goal. And if you look at the Patriots' schedule in the games that they lost before this little streak they've been on,
they don't play the Jets again. They don't play the Jets again.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the losses. They lost to the Cowboys in overtime on some bullshit to me, and then they lost to Tom Brady on the last second field goal that they missed, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a rainy ass game. Like those are two. I don't like to do moral victories, but those are two really good games that they played that they just happen to lose. And to me, that's all the confidence that Bill Belichick needs to see. Like, all right, we're good. We're young, but we're good. So I think this Patriots thing is real. And if you being a Jets fan, you see the Patriots in the first month or month and a half, they don't really give you everything. But November and December, they don't lose. That is what they do. November, December, they don't lose. And then you got to figure them out in the playoffs. So I think this is real with the Pats.
I agree too. I think it's very real with them. I mean, I'll just touch on the other two teams really quick. Like I think the Kansas City Chiefs, they just got to get on the same page. I just think like a lot of them are in their head with the media just dogging them and trashing them all the time, the way that they're playing. They're playing the same type of football. It's just, I feel like Patrick Mahomes just gets rid of the ball way too fast than he should. And people aren't expecting that because we see a smooth throw from Mahomes. Now it's just like a gunslinger rocket he throws at guys, and it forces an unfortunate turnover.
But do you remember that? You remember that Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
He was running for his life. Yeah. And that will ruin some. You remember Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts? Those ghosts don't just go. Those ghosts just don't go away. And I'm pretty sure him suffering like a major, like it wasn't a major injury, but it was big enough for him to have to get surgery and miss time after the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely. But like his play, it's not that he's throwing careless interceptions. I see a lot of guys get the ball and it either hits him in the chest too hard and they can't catch it, and it goes for a turnover, and it just so happens to be that's the interception. But he's pretty accurate, and he threw for what, almost I think 400 yards last game.
It was over. It was over 400. I think it was his third game of his career where he went 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, which ties Dan Marino, Joe Montana, and somebody else.
But don't put on him just yet, man. Like they were at the very bottom of the barrel, and now they're at the very top right now. So
they struggle to beat the Giants. They struggle to beat Jordan Love. And the Raiders, to me, are having the worst off-the-field season I've ever seen in my life. Lose their coach, lose their receiver, lose their starting cornerback because he's calling out his ops or whatever on Instagram. and then Deshaun Jackson's running the other way.
Let's say, yeah.
So to me, it wasn't Travis Kelce saying, "Oh, I got my swagger back." It's the damn Raiders. At the end of the day, it's still the Raiders.
But it's also a divisional game. Like they run through them all the time. But I think I'm such a total believer in playoff football because playoff football, you're a different team. Like you're coasting to get there. And I always think like Kansas City just felt like they had to coast through things. Now they're seeing they got to work through things. So I think now they've got a different aspect or a different like chip on the shoulder of how we approach the game.
They're still not running the football and playing defense, and that's what wins.
I beg to differ. I think your running back is Williams. Like you got to use that guy. You saw that catch he did. He's a running back, and he caught over.
See, that was an impressive touchdown grab that he had. That was really impressive. But still, they're throwing it to him.
I know. They're not a run team. They haven't been for a while since
11 carries, 43 yards. Like that was his day.
As long as he punches it in the end zone when he's rushing, that's all that matters to me, man. I get it. You want to get down there, but Mahomes is going to throw it down there the entire time.
Yeah.
They have decent running backs. They just don't utilize them, man. McKinnon is there, and he's not even getting any touches.
I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is supposed to come back this weekend, so that'll be nice. Especially because it's against the Cowboys, so
he's just a wasted first round pick for you fantasy guys. That's it. So
yeah, he probably screwed a few of y'all. Probably.
And then the Bucs, like I've been saying it all year, man. Like the defense is poo-poo. I'm sorry. Like out, they were good. They figured that out real quick, man. Because now you can rush for touchdowns on the Bucs. You can throw on them all day. That's a gimme there. The only thing I'm scared about with the Bucs is the linebacking core. That's the only thing. Because like
best in the business.
I would say best in the business.
Yeah,
then,
I would say
Cowboys are good too. I don't want to sit here and think about linebacking cores, but they're one of the better.
I think so.
But like that's it. At the end of the day, they're kind of like in my opinion, they're not as bad, but they're like the Kansas City Chiefs. Great offense, everything is good. They actually run the football. But the defense, they got names. There's names there, but they're just not.
I think their defense has a lot better names than the Chiefs have.
Oh, it does. It definitely does. But they're performing like the Kansas City Chiefs
because they can't get to the court. That's the whole thing that the Bucs made their name of in the postseason last year. They got to the quarterback, and people got so hung up on what's his name that did the peace sign to Tyreek Hill. Oh, our secondary is so great. No, your secondary is not great. And they're banged up.
Play. You have one good secondary play.
And they're banged up on top of that. So if they're resting their laurels on hoping that Richard Sherman is going to be that guy, he's not that guy. He's old. The rest of them are just banged up. And if you can't get pressure on the quarterback in today's NFL, you're basically playing 7-on-7 and they're going to tear you apart. So
I agree. Yeah. I agree, man. I was high on the Bucs defense. I was like, they're going to be really good this year, but the last 3 games they haven't played like that, man. They're very quiet. But then again, they're another coasting team as well. When they get to the playoffs, Tom Brady's a different animal.
So who do you believe more than? And take your bias out of it, the Chiefs or the Bucs?
You want to rank all 3 of them?
No, I want between those two because I'm all in on the Patriots. But the Patriots and the Bucs, I'm still like, okay, I'm a little skeptical.
I'm taking my bias out of it. Like Tom Brady has a will to win. Okay. But when you look at the AFC East, like the AFC in general, we talked about this. Nobody scares me out there. Like Mahomes, it could be Mahomes and Josh Allen in the AFC Championship. Yeah. And it's going to be a good game. Yeah. And I would take Mahomes over Allen and the Chiefs any day of the week.
But yeah,
if you go out there, I mean, Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna. That defense looks good now. I know.
Yeah.
Kevin King won't be covering nobody in that game. That's for sure. The Cowboys look good. Everybody looks good. The whole West looks good. Everybody can hang with the Bucs. And if the football team can take them down, anybody can take them down, in my opinion.
The football team almost took them down in the playoffs, so that might be like a matchup thing.
It might be a matchup, and they have a good defense. It's just, I'm not putting my bias into this. Like the Bucs have the better team on paper. They just won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady brings you money and all that. I get that. But if it were me, I've been sticking with. I even said at the beginning of the season, we're getting Super Bowl 1 all over again this year. It's gonna be Packers and still Kansas City. So that's what I'm sticking with.
So we're gonna get Ples back on the show before the season ends. Because I remember I talked to Ples. We talked to Ples early on, and I said, "So what do you think will hold the Bucs back, from winning another Super Bowl?" And I said injuries, because that team is top heavy. It's injury. Like one person get hurt, damn. Like you better have some dogs on defense. Offensively, they can get by. They can get by. Like AB hasn't been played in a while. We don't know what's going on with that, with his foot or his ankle, whatever's going on there. Gronk broke some ribs. They try to rush him back. I think they can shut him down until like the postseason. You still got Cameron Brate, you still got OJ Howard. So, and then running back situation, they got depth. So to me, offensively, they can figure it out. But if they can't get healthy in their secondary on defense and on the defensive line, I mean, Vita Vea, luckily it wasn't like a torn ACL, it was a sprained MCL, so he should be able to come back soon. But if they can't get pressure on the quarterback and they're not healthy in the secondary, I do not feel good about it. You can score on them. Like, you can score all day on them. So, and you let Taylor Heineke score 29 on you. So, what more do you need to know? Kansas City, on the other hand, because of what I said that last time about who scares you in AFC, they, to me, have the best shot out of those two to make it back to the Super Bowl if we're going that far. I still just don't believe they're in their team yet. So if they get to the Super Bowl, I think they get ran out the building again. So because like that defense, I mean, damn, what's his name? Honey Badger can only do so much. Yeah. And then offensively, Patrick Mahomes can only do so much because the Raiders didn't have nobody for Travis Kelce, and the Raiders didn't have nobody for Tyreek Hill. So I don't know. I wish they would have went after somebody to go. They got Gordon still. That's not going to work. I wish they had like another weapon on the other side, and I'd be like, all right, at least they can outscore everybody no matter what.
When it got a DB, and they would have been straight. They would have been good if they got a DB, and that's would have been all they needed.
And then back to Carolina, they got Stephon Gilmore, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm all in on that seven seed. I'm all in on that 7 seed for Carolina.
All right, you said Carolina. Let's talk about new faces, new/old places. So, Mr. Cam Newton is back in Carolina.
Cam? Oh, Cam.
Fill in. He wasn't even the starter. PJ Walker started, and he played some sub package and looked pretty good, man.
It'd be impossible for him to start that quickly.
It would be, but I feel like Cam could have did that. But it was good that they made him a focal point in the offense too, as well.
Because the brand new playbook, he has to learn that playbook. I mean, it's Matt Rule. That's I think Joe Brady's over there too. So
yeah. You got to learn that. And then you got Odell deciding, he's going to sign with the Rams. I'm telling you now, man. I told you I'm not a big Odell fan. It's a good move for them now that Robert Woods tore his ACL. That'll be
poor Robert Woods, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I love the guy so much, man. Yeah. Just unfortunate.
You're high on him. You talk about him all the time when I mentioned him. Yeah.
I would say he's underrated, man. They were even underrated. They weren't using him the right this year too. They were throwing everything to Cooper Kupp and whatever, man. But anyways, I just feel like Odell doesn't bring the chemistry you want there. Like Von Miller's a good sign to me. Von Miller is like rally the troops type of cowboy hat wearing, tatted up, glasses, goofy looking dude. And he's the guy you want in the locker room. Odell, like he's fun, he's cool. But like if it's not going his way, his emotions definitely get there. And I don't like playing that card with him, but it's just always there. And I don't know, man. I hope he does well there. I think he can do well there. But game one we saw it. Maybe it was just that he was rushed out too quickly out there. New playbook, I get that.
New lingo, new playbook, bro. You're nervous too, bro. It's just normal. It's normal.
Like, you can't be nervous in sports, man.
Yes, you can. They're human, bro. They are human. They see,
like nobody wants a nervous player out there, man.
Giannis said something the other day in GQ. Like he was scared to admit to people that he sees a sports psychiatrist, and I'm sure the majority of professional athletes, if not all of them, need professional help. LeBron is invested into the Calm app that you get on Apple and I think on Android as well, which after that NBA Finals experience that he had with the Mavericks, he realized his nerve, like you talking about LeBron James, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and his nerves were on an all-time high because of expectations. So OBJ to me, he's been because of that catch in his rookie year against the Cowboys. He's had this thing like he has to perform every week because that catch made him millions of dollars.
But that's not even that. We say it best. They have to perform because of fantasy football wants you to do that. You have to do that because you put up the numbers in fantasy football every week. We expect that to happen. You can't go out there and have a 30-yard game with 2 receptions. Like that's not your characteristics. But I get when they're tailoring players to the playbook and the roles they play on them. And if Odell would be a decoy, you're opening up a lot more for Van Jefferson. That's for sure for me.
And that's what scares me about this situation is that if Odell can be a decoy, what made Robert Woods so great is that yes, he can have a game where he has 15 catches and 150 yards, but if you closely watch the Rams, he would be a lead blocker. He will
great blocker too.
He will fake the play for himself, and he did everything that they asked of him. And I don't think OBJ. I don't think it's not. I'm saying he's not capable of it. But in his lifetime, he's probably never asked to be like that. And I feel like Robert Woods, he's just built a little different. Where he just came out the mud, and that's how he was. Like he just, we talk about Hines. I love Hines Ward so much because of that. Like go out there and block. Go out there and do the small stuff, open it up for everybody else. Robert Woods has made Cooper Kupp like the greatest small wide receiver we've ever seen, right? Like he's made him
plays in the slot.
He's made him phenomenal. Like, and it's because of all the little things that he does. And you need that out of the other receiver to be that guy for you. And the ego has to be on the sides. Checked at the door as soon as you came in. OBJ, I don't know if that's his prerogative. I really don't know. Like he wants to go out there. Yeah, he wants to produce. He is a classic diva receiver. He wears his emotions on the sleeves. You can see it on his face. He's frustrated. I think he was on his best behavior in Cleveland, but he's too big of a personality for Baker Mayfield. Fast forward to Matt Stafford. Do you think he's too big of a personality for Matt Stafford to handle and for Sean McVay to handle?
I don't think so.
Do you think they can handle him?
I think they can. It's all about him, though, the way I think that they can handle because Stafford's played with great receivers, Megatron, Galladay, Marvin Jones. He's played with good receivers over his years and times. And I think he's the kind of guy that you want. Like before, like the losing and stuff like that, they were doing pretty good, blowing out games, defense is stout. And then McVay is just like his signings that he has are just insane. The players that he signs, I can't believe like the guys he signs. And I just think it's like a good gel. Like I feel like everybody on that team, they're like a bunch of misfits. Like you've got, Cooper Kupp, who's like down to earth, really nice. Stafford, really nice. You got Jalen Ramsey, who's really, really outspoken. You got Aaron Donald, who's humble, but will definitely like knock somebody out if the opportunity is right. I feel like there's a bunch of stuff there. And then you bring in Von Miller, and then you bring in, the diva Odell, and there's just a lot of different aspects.
There's a lot to manage there.
Yeah, there's a lot to. It's personalized all over the place, but they clash perfectly with it. I think this is going to be good for Odell. I just hope that they know how to use him. And if it were me, like you said, he's never been used as a decoy, and this could be a beneficial thing for him if he does that. But is he going to buy into that? Kind of
beneficial thing for the team. Maybe not for him, and that's the problem.
Well, maybe for him too, because maybe teams will be like, wow, he's actually given into this mentality of something. We'll throw him a check for something, and he could be our 2 or possibly even the 1. There's
I feel like that's hard to learn on the fly, though, especially when you're in the middle of the season gunning for a top seed. That's hard. Like, that comes in training camp. That comes in training with these guys. You're lifting weights with them. You're staying in the same hotel room together. You're going to meetings all day. Like, I feel like football is won in training camp. That's just how I've always felt. Like, because you have to have that camaraderie there in June, July, August, like that time that you guys spend together in that summer before the preseason starts. To me, that's when that happens. So when you're bringing in big name players like a Von Miller and like a Odell Beckham Jr. in the middle of a season, that's a lot to manage if you don't have the right quarterback and the right head coach. And McVay is dope, but he's still 24 years old. Like, damn, he's a kid.
I feel like Vaughn, there's no issue with Vaughn. Vaughn knows his role and what to do there. That's fine. It's just managing someone that's very, very outspoken is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Both of these players are very outspoken players, Cam Newton and Odell Beckham. But the difference is, I think Cam got his wake-up call when he went to New England on how things were. It was business. It was nothing personal. And now he's back home. He got his taste of playing for another team, like doing the actual 9-to-5 work or some shit like that with the Patriots type of stuff.
That's like 9 to 9.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm getting at is like he got like how to actually learn under a good coach and a good team, and he'll take that back to Carolina, and I think they're going to make a strong playoff push going forward. So of these two guys, which one's the most beneficial to their teams, would you say?
Between Cam and Odell?
Mm-hmm.
It's Cam. Well,
I say Cam.
It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? The Rams, their priority is winning the Super Bowl. I think getting to the Super Bowl, they've already done it now, so they don't give a damn about that. They need to win the Super Bowl, right? Carolina's priority, probably right now, let's make the playoffs and try to win a game, right? To me, Cam has more of a chance of taking that team with an already good defense. McCaffrey's back, and they have good weapons that you were so gung-ho about Sam Darnold having, and it ain't working. Cam's got these same weapons. We're going to see. Robbie, he already got a touchdown of Robbie Anderson. He's already played with DJ Moore and McCaffrey in the past. So he's going to have a good relationship. So I think he has a better chance of getting to the playoffs and probably stealing a playoff win than the Rams have right now getting to the Super Bowl, only because of to me, the Robert Woods loss. Now, if Robert Woods would have stayed healthy, I would say the OBJ signing was bigger, because now OBJ just go out there and you just got to go out there and just go catch some passes. You don't have to be the Robert Woods of this offense anymore, because they don't have anybody to be that Robert Woods. Robert Woods is a special player for that team because he did all the small things, which OBJ, to me, is not going to be able to do or pick up this quickly. So OBJ is a good signing, but it may cause more of a headache than it needs. Whereas with Cam, you saw Cam on the sideline already like had him in a huddle, like leading him. And he's playing church music, gospel music at press conferences with Robbie Anderson. Like, to me, and I went to North Carolina before I went to Charlotte. They love Cam in Charlotte. I know there's a few people who are like, oh, he's arrogant or whatever. Yeah, he's arrogant. He's freaking Cam Newton, bro. Like, yes. So I think I love it. I love it for Cam. I hope this works out. I really want to see him win the Super Bowl. He lost. Funny enough, we're talking about Von Miller. The two guys in that Super Bowl, Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, and Cam Newton was the MVP of that season, are on different teams now, and literally 6 years later. So, yeah, it's crazy. But, yeah, I think I like Cam. I like Cam for Carolina a little bit more than OBJ for the Ramley.
I agree. Ramley. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100% on that too. All right, let's go to another topic. Let's go to college football playoffs. We got the list last week, then we got a new one this week, and the top four are Georgia, Bama, Oregon, and Ohio State. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
guys. We don't talk enough about college football on this show. In season 3, I want to get some we'll talk, but this is important that we're talking about college football right now.
So the big scuffle we have here, and I think a lot of people have, is Cincinnati not being in there, being undefeated. USF gave them their all.
Listen, shout out to USF, guys. USF has played like 6 ranked teams this year. Houston's ranked in the playoff, NC State, Cincinnati, Florida. I don't know, Florida's not ranked anymore, but Florida's a good program, I guess. Florida. We play some tough teams, guys. We play BYU. We play some tough teams. Go Bulls, guys. We fought this year.
Exactly. But I mean, there's scrutiny that Ohio State has lost 2 games and they're put above them.
They only lost one.
Is it one? I thought it was
They
2.
only lost one.
Hmm.
If they lost 2, then there would have been a gripe. But they play Michigan State this weekend. Now we gonna see something.
Yeah. What do you think, man? Should Ohio State be rewarded that seat, or should it be Cincinnati, or should Oregon even be in that talk? Because Alabama, in my book, I know like they're not praising them, but Nick Saban, when it comes to the championship game, is a different Nick Saban. So,
All right, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you straight because I've been watching this from a lot of different angles. First and foremost, week 3 or week 4? Is week 3 or week 4? I said Georgia is going to win the national championship. I said that in week 3, maybe week 4. I announced it then, and I'm sticking to that now. Georgia that's one of the best defenses I've seen since like the 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens. Like they all look like first rounders. Like that defense is stout. I think they're gonna see Alabama in the SEC championship game. Much like when they had Tua, when they made it to the championship game and the not the Super Bowl, and the SEC championship game and the national championship game. I think it's going to be the same thing that happens. So to me, those first 2, lock, perfect. Alabama, Georgia, whatever happens, happens. Okay, if Alabama has 2 losses because it's to Georgia, oh well, I don't care. So those to me, keep those there. Oregon, the reason why they're there, more not they've had a couple of decent victories on their
name.
huh?
Say his name.
Well, your boy Kayvon Thibodeau. He's obviously he's probably a 1 or 2 overall pick. But they need West Coast representation. That is what they understand, the importance of having a Pac-12 West Coast school in the playoffs. So, and we've seen it for a few years. They'll like, look, you guys only have 1 loss. We're gonna put you guys in, okay? So and Oregon's probably gonna win the rest of their games, and they'll be fine. So they're gonna get one of those 3 seeds. So now we got a little cluster: Ohio State, Cincinnati, my Michigan Wolverines, and Michigan State. Oklahoma dropped out with that loss to Baylor, so we don't got to worry about them. So to me, the top 7, that is the playoff right now. That's what we're working on. I think so. Ohio State has to play Michigan State and Michigan. Okay, if they beat both Michigan State and Michigan, and then they win the Big Ten championship, Cincinnati doesn't have a case. They don't have a case. They don't have the strength of schedule. They don't have enough top 25 victories. Like, you gotta understand, Michigan State is 7th and Michigan is 6th, if I got that right. Yeah, and Michigan's 6th. So if Ohio State beats number 7 and number 6, what are you gonna tell them? Bro, we beat number 6, number 7. I would love to see Cincinnati in that top 4, but chaos needs to happen. Mm-hmm. What I'm concerned about is that will enough chaos happen for them to get in? So will the committee be like, okay, we'll put a multiple loss Alabama in there, which they probably will. Will the committee be like, all right, we'll put we'll keep 1 loss Georgia in the top 4? Of course they will, right? What it's going to come down to is, do we want Oregon to be in the playoffs or not? It's literally that simple. Because let's look at
Nike's cutting checks right now. Nike's like, keep them there, keep them there, keep them there.
There's not a coincidence. I'm telling you right now, it's not a coincidence. So if we look at the schedule for Oregon and who they played, they ain't really beat nobody. I mean, they beat they beat Ohio State. If Ohio State's gonna make the playoffs, Oregon's gonna make the playoffs. They beat Ohio State. Outside of that, that's the only.
This is kind of like when UCF went undefeated and they put up those bring us Bama bullshit posters.
Here's the difference: UCF plays in the American Athletic Conference. Oregon plays in the PAC with UCLA, with USC, with Stanford, with what I mean. They play
Cincinnati though,
huh?
Isn't Cincinnati playing the same division?
Oh, you're talking about Cincinnati, not Oregon. Okay. Oh yeah, it's the same bullshit.
I'm comparing this to UCF.
No, Cincinnati, they're getting UCF. No matter how you want to slice it, they're getting UCF. The only thing they can say is, well, the Big 12 accepted us, right? Go look at the Big 12. The Big 12 sucks. Okay, Texas just lost to Kansas. Texas is supposed to go to SEC. They just lost to Kansas. Worst point spread loss ever. Oklahoma just lost to Baylor. Like the Big 12 is very inconsistent. So Cincinnati doesn't really have much legs to stand on, except for the fact that they pray that Michigan. But if they gotta hope that Michigan State beats Ohio State, Ohio State beats. They need a lot to happen, and I don't think that's all going to happen for Cincinnati. So they'll get a New Year's Eve, New Year's Day bowl. They'll probably play Michigan State, or it's for Michigan or something like that, and it'll be that. It'll be that.
Yeah. Well, good luck to Cincy, man. I'd like to see them try and get in there by some kind of chaos, but it's gonna be tough, man.
It's gonna take hell to freeze. If you want to give it, you want to put a visual to it.
Yeah. All right, let's excuse me, let's talk NBA. I've been saying it for a while, man. Ain't nothing wrong with Steph Curry or the Warriors, man. Them boys is good.
Can I apologize one more time?
Please do.
How many apology sessions do I need to give you, Steph, for you to understand that I am sorry? I know back in March, I was probably going something. The seasons were changing, something I don't know, but I'm sorry, Steph. Like you are that dude. I know I've been trying to rank you below like Isaiah Thomas and John Stockton and all these other point guards. Quite frankly, you're right under Magic Johnson. I'm gonna say it again. You were right under Magic Johnson, and by golly, you give me a couple more rings, and I might put you right there. I might give you 1A to 1B or 1B to 1A. This dude is incredible. Like injury is crazy to say injuries robbed him. He didn't get robbed by injuries like Grant Hill or anything like that. But
no.
Injuries took a lot of these points off the board because Steph Curry came to the league basically doing this at a small scale, and then once they gave him the keys, bro, he's been like this for almost a decade now. Like the Warriors are looking like 2014, 2015, 2016. They looking like the dynasty's back. It's scary.
They went and got an important piece, Andre Iguodala.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't like the draft choices, but their draft this year was really, really good. Both of those kids they drafted are really, really good.
That's part of the dynasty. Yeah, that might lead to a trade.
Exactly. Wiseman too, man. They got the big guy there. You still got Draymond. Clay isn't even back yet.
Clay not even back yet.
And all the supporting cast that they needed to facilitate for the guys that were there before, they've either homegrown them or went and got them.
Jordan Poole
is playing good basketball.
University of Michigan, guys. Jordan Poole is balling.
He made that big shot, man, and now they're giving him the keys now. They're letting him play ball.
Gary Payton's son been dunking on people all week.
Andrew Wiggins is balling, man.
Number 1 overall pick.
Upping up his trade value is what he's doing right now.
But the crazy thing about it, you remember they were talking about Dame to Golden State could be a possibility? But they got so many pieces that they can give Portland. Like, what do y'all want? If they really want to go get Dame, bring him back to Oakland, where he's from. Well, San Fran, but he's from Oakland, but they play in San Fran. But bring him back to the Bay. Like, bro, what do you want? We have Jordan Poole, we have Andrew Wiggins, we have these rookies that we drafted. If they go get Dame, they don't even need him. But Dame, Steph, and Clay, and Draymond, and Wiseman, and Kevon Looney, and Iguodala, bruh.
Man. But they're playing good ball, and like it's either homegrown or they went and got those pieces they needed. And it looks like a redo all over again. Like we just blinked and took all this for granted, and now it's back.
We got who need to apologize as well? Steve Kerr.
Oh, I always had faith in Steve Kerr, man.
I lost faith in him. I said, "Nah, you just a product of Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Clay. And you're a product of what Mark Jackson gave you." But nah, this year they put on a clinic. They're like number 1 in like every offensive and defensive category. It's insane. It is insane.
Like 12 games, but they're balling, man.
Bro, they're 12-2, and then, bro, you saw what they did in Brooklyn. Did you see what they did at Brooklyn's house? Hey,
they were chanting Steph Curry's name, and
I was just about to ask you that. When have you ever seen somebody cheer for the other player MVP? Especially when the player on your team is Kevin Durant.
The number 1 scorer in the league.
Bruh.
Word on the streets, Kyrie started the chant.
You know damn well they didn't allow him in that stadium.
Oh man. Oh
No,
man.
that's bro. That's this is insane. Like what these Warriors are doing, and they're only gonna get better. It's scary, bro. It's scary.
You remember when like everyone was like all the kids were wearing Warriors jerseys, and then like now it just faded off, and it was Brooklyn jerseys and things like that. The new players coming up.
Bring it
Now it's
back.
gonna be back. It's gonna be back, man.
Dust that bitch up out of your bottom drawer.
Let's talk about the Wizards too, man. Like they went from bottom of the barrel to being top dog. And
Bottom of they made the playoffs.
they were still like bottom of the barrel the year before that, man. So they made the playoffs by the skin of their teeth, and they lost in the playoff or the bracket or whatever it was.
No, they lost to the Sixers in 5 games.
Yeah, I mean they made a push, but who'd have thought get rid of Westbrook, and then Westbrook goes to the Lakers, and look at them.
Bro, don't get me started.
So what's in the Kool-Aid in Washington? What are they drinking there?
They drinking that Kyle Kuzma. They drinking that. It's crazy. The Lakers. This is how I know Frank Vogel's a horrible basketball coach. They trade away Kuzma, Alex Caruso. What's his name with the dreads? With the Montrezl Harrell. They trade those 3 big pieces to Chicago and Washington. Washington is number 1. Chicago is number 2. Plain and simple. And in retrospect, you look at LA. They bring in Russell Westbrook and they're struggling. It's like it is ugly to watch. And to me, Kuzma doesn't have to look over his shoulder anymore. He don't got to worry about Lonzo Ball. He ain't got to worry about Brandon Ingram. He ain't got to worry about LeBron James or Anthony Davis. It's him and Bradley Beal. That is what they're hanging their hat on, right? And then Montrez to me is such a good professional player. So he could play for any team. He knows his role. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna grab you about 8 to 10 rebounds. I'm gonna score me like 16 to 20 points. What do y'all want? And that's what he does. Bring energy, block shots, do all that stuff. So to me,
keep going.
To me, the energy that they're playing with, provided by those kind of players, surrounded by a Bradley Beal, who's such a great underrated leader. I think this team, I wouldn't say they're a contender, but I see a team like this, and I'm like, man, if they add one more veteran star, they're right there. You're looking at like a Utah situation where they were number 1 seed last week. Look at Miami situation with Jimmy Butler. They add like a Kyle Lowry and a what's his name? And PJ Tucker. Like they you see how PJ Tucker and Drew Holiday helped Milwaukee win it last year, and how Chris Paul is helping Phoenix. That's all Washington needs. That's all. It's just a bona fide veteran star, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. So, and it might be like a point guard, honestly, because I mean, who's their point guard? Spencer Dinwiddie. To me, he's a great off the bench player. If they get if they would have got Chris Paul, I think I would pick him to I pick him to win the East, just like Phoenix, just the way Phoenix did last year.
Yeah, I think Kuzma living in the shadows and having to worry about LeBron James and all that anymore is just out the way. Just play ball that you
just
like.
Go hoop.
Play. Yeah, go hoop, exactly. Go look good and go be OBJ of basketball. I don't care. Just go play hoops and do what you like to do.
And he needed to get out of LA.
He did. He had to. Yeah.
He's from Flint, Michigan. He has no business. Listen, being from somebody who lived in Detroit for most of his life, me going to LA, I would have acted a fool. With $1 million, I would have acted a fool too. I
agree, but I think like the Warrior situation doesn't like. I knew this would happen again. Like the core is still there. The core hasn't been broken up.
What's the core?
The Steph, the Clay, and
Warriors. I thought it was about the Wizards. Who's the core?
The core is still there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You just need a battery charge, and your battery charge is Andre Iguodala, and then the little pieces around that make the team work. And the best part is, like, Otto Porter is definitely a shell of himself. He's a good basketball player.
Yeah.
You got to be a 2 there. He's going to be like the 6 or the 7 there.
A good veteran.
A good veteran.
A good veteran.
So, and he can shoot. He can play defense. He's going to be a good player. He's a good asset to the team.
Yeah. And when you
And
have a Steph on the court, there's going to be guys that then we might have to triple team him. Otto Porter out there waiting. Andrew Wiggins out there waiting. Jordan Poole out there is waiting. Like, you got shooters just waiting out there waiting for you.
yeah, and no way am I comparing this situation to what's there now. But when Steph got to the Warriors, they had great guard play already. They had Monte Ellis, Steven Jackson, and Baron Davis. And then Steph kind of forced his way in there and took over for Baron Davis, and then moved those guys out, then bring in Klay Thompson. And you've got two young other guards that can easily do that if they learn the right way. I'm not saying it's going to be the second coming, but you've got good guard play coming out later on when Steph is possibly not there or Klay's not there. Mm-hmm. So it's just good drafting. I expected this from the Warriors. I'm completely confused about the Wizards, though.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me, but
first-year coach.
A lot of new players on the offense with Dinwiddie, Kuzma, and Harrell, but maybe they're just a bunch of young ballers that can play well together and then just feed off of each other, and I think that's good. What scares me the most is the way the Lakers and the Nets are handling everything, because they're the favorites already, and now they're middle of the pack, both of them, in their divisions.
I think the
whole conferences.
I think Brooklyn, if anything, Brooklyn is way well off than Los Angeles.
I think KD's head's in the game, but everybody else's head isn't there.
James got to be better. He's got to be better. He's had a couple good games, but he's had a lot of bad games mixed in between. James Harden needs to be better. Brooke Lopez. Blake Griffin is old, and what's his name? That came from San Antonio. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's a good player, but he's aging as well. And then so they need their young talent to really just kind of just flourish for them, which Joe Harris and all Claxton, the dude that lighting up in Summer League, they have the guys to do it. But to me, kind of how like when you have a Kevin Durant, you'll figure it out. And you have James Harden as his sidekick, you'll figure it out. They could definitely use Kyrie. Absolutely. Yeah. They could absolutely use Kyrie.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if Kyrie was here. So
if they had Kyrie, I think they would have lost one game this season. Honestly, Kyrie is that good. So as long as his head is in the game, though, that's the thing. As long as Kyrie's head's in the game, then they'll be fine. On the other spectrum, man, the Lakers, I've watched too much of the Lakers. I know a bad team when I see a bad team. Like, I'm very honest about, that's a bad team. With LeBron,
man, God, it hurts me to say that.
I don't know what's up with LeBron's injury. They say he can come back this weekend against Boston. But some experts say he should stay out for 2 months. So it's finally come. Like, same thing happened to me with Allen Iverson when he was coming off the bench in Memphis and Detroit. I was like, yeah, it's over. It's coming. We're getting close. We're a lot closer to the end. Let's put it this way, for LeBron in his career than his beginning. And I don't think he can carry this shit that he has. Russell Westbrook is the most frustrating basketball player I've ever watched in my entire life. You give me somebody that can give me a triple-double, but at the same time have 9 turnovers and make them a boneheaded decision, shoot 40%, shoot 60% from the free throw line. That it's like, oh, he had a triple-double. But then you look at the stats. Dang, his plus-minus was minus 22, and he turned the ball over. Like, you watch the passes that he does. Like,
and the sad part is like, remember all the years they would put the blame on Carmelo Anthony? Carmelo's got no blame. Carmelo has
Thank God. He's doing what he got to do.
Exactly. Carmelo's playing his role. The problem is there's not a second voice to LeBron James. Like, I don't see AD vocal at all. I don't see vocalization out of Westbrook. I don't see vocalization out of anybody there.
If AD could just borrow anything that he can borrow from Giannis Antetokounmpo as far as just mindset and energy, Anthony Davis could be the greatest basketball player of all time. But he's so mentally it's not like, I want to say he's mentally weak, but he doesn't have that I'm going to take this ball game over. Like, he can do it physically, But mentally, if you get in his head, you're in his head. And every time he falls to the floor, he's grabbing his knee, he's grabbing his neck, he's grabbing his ankle, he's crying. Like, I'm like, oh my God, it's over. It's the end of the season. Oh my God, it's over. It's the end of the season. And teams see that. Other teams do see that. So like, man, this dude saw. Draymond Green said it in a press conference last year. Yeah, dude came in overweight. He didn't even have to say his name.
Draymond said that.
Everyone knew. Everyone knew that. You're talking about AD, ain't you? Like, it's just, he needs to, I don't know what he needs to do. He needs to go see somebody. You would think LeBron would be in his ear enough to like, bro, you need to like the way Kobe and Shaq used to be. Like, Kobe's, as young as Kobe was, Kobe used to get in Shaq's face, like, bro, we can't do this right now, bro. Like, you got to get in shape. You need to go get these rebounds. Like, Kobe was in Shaq's ear. And I don't think LeBron is in AD's ear enough. I think he's letting him be like, that's what LeBron's gonna let you do. LeBron will yell at you if you're doing something stupid, but he'll let you be you.
I feel like he's in his ear a lot, but he's not taking like the Kevin Love approach on this shit where like I feel like he thinks but LeBron's gonna coach me too much and I'm gonna get bad type of stuff.
But the thing about Kevin Love was willing to listen. Is AD willing to listen? Because Kevin Love, Minnesota, was 30-20. And Kevin Love, Cleveland, was spot up corner 3, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Like, so is he willing to listen? Because the only way that this Laker team is going to be successful is if Anthony Davis is the best player on the court every night. Because LeBron's about to be 40, bro. His birthday's in a month. He's about to be 37. Like, dude's getting old. He's human. It's clear he's not a robot. He gets hurt, guys. He's hurt. So if LeBron has to continue to be the best player every night, they're not going to make it to April because his body's going to break down by March. So, yeah, and then what makes it worse is that the old thing is real. Like, they look a little old out there sometimes. And Carmelo ain't playing no defense. Russell Westbrook ain't playing no damn defense. All they got is AD to play defense when LeBron's not there. And LeBron's old too, so he's going to expect him to be in a chair for 48 minutes. So they need the young guys to step up, but Horton Tucker, Malik Monk's been playing pretty good. I don't know, it's tough. It's tough.
We'll see, man. I'm pulling for him, man. I want him to get there. So all right, let's wrap up the show. We got a treat. We got 2 fun segments for you. Let's do the pick'ems first, and then we'll do the take it home with the stadium stuff. All right, week 11 football. First game I got, Indiana versus Buffalo.
All right. You want me to go? I got it. Indianapolis Colts. I'm picking the Indianapolis Colts. I repeat, I am picking I don't trust Buffalo, man. I just something is, and they might shock me, but I got Indianapolis Colts 23-20. Carson Wentz is proving that he was that guy. He was that guy.
I'm only going to go Buffalo because it's in Buffalo. And I'm going to say 23-22 field goal game.
You know what? And I thought about that, but you know where Carson Wentz played college, right? North Dakota. It's cold, bro. He likes that weird Buffalo stuff.
Jonathan Taylor played in, what was it, Wisconsin? Or
Wisconsin. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor ran against USF and then ran against Michigan back-to-back weeks. It's pretty embarrassing.
Game 2. Football team versus the Panthers, new look.
You gotta give me
versus Cam.
You gotta give me Cam. Oh, Cam, I'm back. Give me Cam and them. 17-14. A little ugly defensive game. Cam will get you 2 rushing touchdowns.
All right, I'm going Carolina 24-7.
7. Damn, Heineke. He said you beat Brady, but you can't beat the GOAT Cam.
He's coming down to earth. This is probably the best game of the week. Dallas versus Kansas City.
Man, boy. You know who I'm not going to pick, so you're going to write the Chiefs down. But boy, as much as I'm about the Chiefs, bro, if they win this game, we're going to come back in 2 weeks. We're going to talk football again. I'm going to tell you the Chiefs are for real because this is the biggest game of the season for them. It's going to be a high-scoring game because none of them can play no defense now. 35-32. Give me the swagger is back, Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill, 2 touchdowns, both on Diggs. What's happening?
All right, I'm going Kansas City 42-37. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're about to have, I hope so. I hope it's a juggernaut like that, though. I love to see that with those two teams.
I want to see that too. All right, Arizona, Seattle.
This is so tough because Russ don't be losing that many games in a row now, like, bruh. But Kyler Murray should be back, right? Should be, man. What are they, 8-2? The Chiefs? I mean, not Chiefs. The Cardinals. And then the 3-6 Seahawks. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese. Give me the cards. 23-20.
23-20.
Low key, I hope I'm wrong, but give me the cards. 23-20.
I'm going Seattle because it's at home.
I like it.
27-23.
Because the Chiefs got embarrassed. I mean, the Chiefs. The Cardinals got embarrassed last week by Cam Newton and them and PJ Walker and them.
Seattle got embarrassed too. Shut out.
I know, but it was Aaron Rodgers.
Shut out.
At Lambeau Field. It was Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field. This game was in the desert. They got blown out at home.
All right. Last game, Pittsburgh versus Chargers.
Word on the street, both teams got COVID issues. Ben Roethlisberger may or may not play. Chase Claypool may not play. But on the other end, Joey Bosa may or may not play. This is the weirdest game, so I flipped the coin. It landed on the Chargers. It'll be an ugly game, 16-10.
All right, I'm going opposite because Pittsburgh knows what to do with the ball now. Give it to my boy Najee.
You do know they just tied with the Detroit Lions.
Giving it to Najee. He didn't even know there was ties in football.
And he about to find out that there's ties and more L's. Like, but
tying with the Lions is like 2 losses in a day. So,
bro, that's more than that. That's close the briefcase. All right, guys, pack it up for the summer, guys.
I'm going 27-23. What'd you say?
I said 16-10. The LA Chargers.
All right, got him locked in. I'm ready, bro. Let's do this.
All right, guys. So, like I mentioned earlier, in case you guys haven't heard, here in our fun session, we added a part B to it because of the Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as Staples Center for 21 seasons, has now officially been changed. So I was sitting here on my office chair doing some recruiting and working and stuff, and I was like, man, I wonder if A-Rod knows where teams actually play sports. So I'm like, you know what? Let me come up with a few names, and here we are. So we're going to start with his favorite sport, with baseball. We're going to see how tuned in he really is, okay? So I'm going to give you the name of the ballpark, and you're going to tell me where that team plays, okay? I mean, who the team is that plays there, correct? You ready, sir?
Let's go.
All right. The first team, the Lone Depot Park. Lone, not home, Lone Depot Park.
Ooh. Is it the Rangers?
That is incorrect.
Lone Depot Park.
Because it was your first one, I will allow you one more guess on this specific one, but that's your last one more guess.
Lone Depot Park. Shit. I really don't know. Last chase.
Yeah, 5 seconds, sir.
Just tell me, bro.
So this park opened in March 2012 to the Miami Marlins.
Oh, so they
our neighbors down south, A-Rod.
Marlins Stadium, man. Really
Sir, the whole point of this game is to keep you on your toes. So the next one we have Globe Life Field. Globe Life Field opened in 2020.
Why do I need like the fucking teams in front of me so I can see them. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
You don't have that in trivia, sir.
I know, sir. It's not Texas, is it?
That is correct.
Is Texas?
The Texas Rangers play at Globe Life Field since March 2020. Congratulations. There's a one that was a $1.1 billion construction cost, by the way.
And they didn't play in it the first year they made it.
It's crazy. That's why remember when they opened up and they were like, F that COVID stuff. We packing the house.
They had the World Series there too.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's right. All right. And the last one. American Family. American Family. What is it? Ballpark? Baseball park?
The Reds play? The Reds?
That is not where the Reds play. No.
American Family.
You're in the right time zone, probably. American Family Field.
Let's see. It's not Pittsburgh, is it?
No, sir. That's your last final guess. It is the Milwaukee Brewers, the Brew Crew. 0 for 3. 0 for 3. Baseball, his favorite sport, guys. Nope.
New sponsor. I don't want to hear that shit.
Next.
Sponsor. KK, just look them up. I'll tell you everywhere everybody else plays. Go ahead.
Next. Go. Okay. Lumen. We're on football. The NFL, National Football League, sir. Lumen Field. Lumen Field. If you want to hit, we spoke about them today.
Arizona.
No. The Seattle Seahawks.
That's what they play? Is Lumen
Field? They play at Lumen Field.
Did they just change the name?
And listen, you're supposed to keep on checking.
Hey, this isn't where he go to college, so I'm doing my best here.
You're supposed to keep up on top of this. Lumen Field. That's where the Seahawks and Seattle Sounders both play there. And they've been there. They just changed the name, same stadium that they've always been in. Okay. This should maybe be easy. I've actually been to the stadium. Nissan Stadium. Nissan Stadium.
I know what Nissan is, bro. They'll drive a Nissan.
Nissan Stadium.
I'm trying to go through all the ones in my head that I know. Texans.
No, sir. That is incorrect. It is the Tennessee Titans.
Right. Like the Gaylord Stadium or some shit like that.
All right, the last one. You should get this one, I think. I don't know. TIAA Bank Field. They play they don't play that many home games there, though.
I don't fucking know, man.
TIAA Bank Field.
No, it's not them. The Vikings.
That is incorrect. That is the Jacksonville Jaguars, our neighbors to the north. Guys, he is 0 for 6, doesn't know baseball, doesn't know football, so we're going to go to basketball, and hopefully he can redeem himself. But, guys, I doubt it.
He's also only doing the ones that just, like, changed their names in the last couple of years or so.
Hey, I keep on top of these things. All right.
I'm going to play a game next time.
Footprint Center.
That is not a name. That cannot be a name of a. It's cannot be a name.
I promise you it is.
Not be. Who would name their stadium or arena the Footprint Arena?
The Footprint Center. Want to take a guess?
No, that's not them. I'm going through all the sponsors. New Orleans Pelicans.
No, I think they're the Smoothie King.
I thought they changed.
They're the Smoothie King, my brother. The Footprint Center was the team that hosted game 1, 2, 4, and 5, and 7 of the NBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Suns?
The Phoenix Suns.
Get some new sponsors.
This is brand new, bro. This is brand new. Next, this is a new name. You should know this one. FTX Arena.
I don't know what it is.
Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese, man. Oh, my God.
Atlanta Hawks.
No, bro.
I don't know. I don't know any of this.
This is where, formerly known as American Airlines Arena,
Miami Heat.
where the Miami Heat play.
didn't know they changed the name of this stuff. See, like I know American
Gee.
Airlines.
No, they've talked about this on news channels. There's I gave you three teams that are neighbors in all sports: baseball, basketball, and football. You failed them all.
Orlando Magic, the last one.
Amway Center. All right, last one. Scotiabank Arena. Come on, give me something.
Scotia.
You know this one.
Portland?
Oh my god. No, it's the Toronto Raptors.
What happened to Air Canada Center?
It's now the Scotiabank Arena.
That would have been my guess because that's the only Canadian. That's a Canadian bank.
If I said Air Canada, I would assume that you know where that team plays. But they play at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Guys, he got all 9 of them wrong. I am offended that I even tried this.
I got Globe Life right.
No, you did.
Yeah.
You snuck.
One for
You snuck into that one. Snuck into that one.
So to be fair, I just got thrown this right before the show, but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoyed it. I honestly thought I knew stadiums like that, but I guess
it's tough. You don't listen. Are we still gonna call it crypto, or are we gonna call it the Staples Center still?
It's like Muhammad Ali or Cassius Clay.
Hey, you're right. He's not. He wanted to be Muhammad Ali. I give him Muhammad Ali. I know some people still call Kareem Lou Alcindor, and it bothers me. I'm like, bro, he clearly didn't want his name to be Lou Alcindor. But Chad Johnson, I don't call him Ocho Cinco, and Meta World Peace, I only call him Ron Artest. So
it's just like Coming to America. His mama called him Clay.
So I'm gonna call him Clay. His mama call it Staples, so I'm gonna call it Staples.
All right. So that's the show. I'll give you the rundown. You can find us on Twitter at @fair_weatherpod, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, Mi Gente, all of that.
Oh, no. We're not on Facebook. We're on Meta.
The metaverse.
We're on Meta. Hey, if you guys want to send us crypto, we're on buycrypto.com too. Send us crypto.com arena. Send it.
The Fair Weather Podcast. Just search that, and wherever you subscribe or listen to podcasts, just find us there. The Fair Weather Podcast.
And if you're listening, why wouldn't you subscribe? You might as well just hit subscribe and just maybe like the video. Act like you like it. I don't give a damn if you didn't like it or not. I don't care if we made fun of Tom Brady and the Atlanta Falcons and Cam Newton. Like the damn video and subscribe. You're helping out your boys.
Serious.
We love you though. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm gonna see you in a couple weeks, brother. Let's meet up at the green store soon. Yeah. All right, peace.